He was a goofball. He's just crazy. Like, everything was spontaneous to him, and he's always happy, always trying to make everyone smile. You weren't allowed to have a frown on your face when you were with him. Like, he would just make you laugh.
Like, you could never hate the guy. It was just great. Everything he did just made, you know, he would always make you laugh. Like, funniest guy you'd ever meet, and, you know, nicest guy all around. Big tough guy too, you know, when you wrestle, he'd sure toss you around.
He was fun. He was a lot of fun. Just a nice guy, a really, really nice guy. And he's one of those people that made everyone feel welcome. And
he was always the center of attention, just all around, just a riot.
Great sense of humor, lots of activity. Didn't know how to sit still. Devoured life and the contents of every refrigerator he ever passed. I mean, this is a kid who is always on the go.
He really grew into his own. Like I said, when I first met him, he was kind of dorky, and then he grew up into be this beautiful man.
Tim got the job so he could make money for college. He was going to Red Deer in the fall. He was really excited about the program he was going into, and ecstatic about the job because it was outside, it was manual labor, and that's what he wanted. He wanted something that was going to be getting him into shape, getting him a good tan, making lots of money, and he didn't mind working hard. He had a great work ethic.
I know he was tired that night because he had worked all week. He had somebody tell him, I'll stand over here and let you know when you come close to that power line that's right above us. Okay, raise the pole. And he just did what he was told by whoever was supposed to be watching out for him. So he just did it, and I'm sure he thought twice about it, but it was his job. He was supposed to be doing what he was told. He raised the pole, and that was it.
And then the doctor came in, and he sat down. I can't even remember what he said, other than he said something about Tim being electrocuted. And then I expected him to say, and resuscitated. But he never said resuscitated. And after that, I just don't remember what happened. Like, I don't remember what they said, what they did.
I was finished treatment March 30th of 99. Tim was killed July 9th of 99. And 7 weeks after that, I had to give a speech at the Golf Kid to Camp tournament, and my dad had to hold me up because of how emotional I was. I was in tears through the entire thing.
It's 5 years later now, and you know, just look back and you just wish he was here. Like, every day was just better with Tim around. Everything was better. And now you just look around, you're like, that's been taken away from us.
Looking back on it, 5 years, it's too bad because, you know, he didn't do anything wrong. And I think that's the hardest part.
I think that every young person has to recognize that a good paycheck is a fair trade for an honest day's labor. But you cannot trust your employer to watch for your safety. You've got to watch on your own.
And I think if he could say something, I think it would be to watch out, you know? I mean, still to live and have fun and not think about consequences all the time, but be careful because it doesn't matter who you are. You could potentially always be in danger, and it's not fair, but apparently it's a fact of life.
Young people do trust the people that they're working for. They want to do a good job. We tell the kids, right? Show up on time, work hard, do a little extra. That's a work ethic, all right? So a kid with a good work ethic does that, but the boss isn't looking out after their safety, and the kid doesn't know the questions to ask, and that's when they end up in trouble.
Ask. And don't lie. Be truthful. Tell your boss, and don't be afraid to say no.
Makes you think about a lot of things before you do anything, you know. You gotta really look around before you do anything, really. Like, there's dangers in everything you do, and you know, you put your trust in some people, and that could just all turn around right in front of you. You could be the next guy.
We never in a million years expected Tim to be placed in such a clearly deadly situation.
My brother thought he was being safe. He died. It wasn't him that had made the choice. But he didn't ask.
If you're out on a job and you're new to the workforce, okay, ask questions. Find out who your supervisor is. Find out who the next person is. Like, if that supervisor isn't around and you've got a question to ask, who do you go to? Ask your supervisor so that you've got at least 2, if not 3 people that you can go to and ask for help.
It still feels like yesterday when it happened, and I don't know, it's really changed me. And I really miss him. I mean, just like the thought of not knowing what happened, what would have happened between us, or it's just stupid.
As a young worker walking onto a work site, there's no guarantee of the safety culture that you're going to be exposed to. You must walk onto a work site knowing that you're responsible for your own safety. As a safety specialist at NMAX, I like to think that we have one of the best safety cultures in the province of Alberta. But even at that, we emphasize to our workers, it's their responsibility for their safety and that of their fellow worker. One important message that I want to leave you with is that there are regulations around the safe limits of approach. If you follow these under every and any circumstance, you will be okay. When you walk onto that work site and identify the overhead power lines as a hazard, you walk up to your foreman or supervisor and you ask them about those safe limits of approach. If they can't tell you what they are, my advice is stop right there. Again, when in doubt, don't.